Okay, here we go, part C. Use your answer from part B to find an estimate of the total amount of water in the tank. So here's where, again, you've got to keep track of. There's the amount of water in the tank. Well, we're keeping track of amounts and rates. There is, if we wrote all this down, we'd say, okay, we've got the total amount of water in the tank, which I am thinking of it being A. We have the rate at which that total amount changes. I think of that as being A prime, where A prime is a combination of the in rate and the out rate. So A prime is equal to the in rate W, subtract the out rate R. We also could be asked to talk about simply the amount of water that flows into the tank, and we've already talked about the amount of water that is removed from the tank during a time period. So several different thoughts of amounts and rates in this problem, but here we're supposed to focus on the total amount of water in the tank at the end of 8 hours. So one way to think of this is, we've already figured out in part A that 850 liters was removed during the 8 hours. We can integrate the rate at which water is flowing in to calculate how much water actually flows in during the 8 hours. So this would be a number of liters as well. We can do that on our calculator because we have a formula for W. So now we know the total amount of water that flowed into the tank during the 8-hour period. We know the total number of liters that were removed from the tank during those 8 hours. We combine those two values with how much water is already in the tank before any of this starts, and we can calculate how much water is in the tank at hour 8. Now I wrote A of 8. You don't want to be writing A of 8 unless you somewhere told the grader what the symbol A is going to represent. And I did that right here. So make sure you do that. That's a necessary element to get the point. So 1 point if the grader sees that you have the correct integral of W, even if you did this wrong, if you have this green box written on your page, because I should make it red to match the points here. If you have this red box on the page, you'll get that 1 point. Then if you combine all the numbers appropriately to find this green box right here, then you get the second of the 2 total points.